How would your life change if you had evolved miles beneath the ocean's surface, where sunlight never reaches and pressure crushes like 1,000 elephants? What if your body were built to thrive in freezing darkness, communicating with light and sound instead of words? Today, we dive deep into this alien world of deep ocean humans. Chapter 1. Extreme conditions you must know. How well do you know the deep ocean? What if you had evolved not on land, but miles beneath the waves? The deep ocean is one of the most extreme environments on Earth. At depths of 3,000 meters or more, the pressure is crushing, about 1,100 times the pressure at sea level. That means every square inch of your body would experience a force like having 50 jumbo jets stacked on top of you. The temperature is just above freezing, around 2 degrees Celsius, and sunlight never reaches these depths. It is a world of darkness and cold, where survival depends on extraordinary adaptations. If you lived here, your body would have to withstand these extreme conditions every second. How would your cells, your muscles, and even your bones handle this immense pressure? And how would you find food or communicate in a place where light does not exist? These questions are key to understanding what deep-sea humans might look like. Chapter 2. How life adapts in the abyss. Scientists have studied creatures living in the deep ocean for decades, and their discoveries are astonishing. Life here has evolved to survive where no sunlight penetrates, and where pressure could crush most animals instantly. For example, deep-sea fish have proteins and cell membranes designed to resist pressure. Their enzymes work efficiently even under intense compression, something normal proteins could never manage. In 2025, new research from expeditions to the Mariana, the deepest part of the ocean, revealed species that produce unique molecules to keep their cells flexible and functional. These adaptations allow them to thrive in conditions that would kill most surface animals. If humans had evolved here, our bodies would have to develop similar molecular defenses. You might wonder how fast such evolution could happen. Evolutionary changes in extreme environments often take millions of years, but the deep ocean's stable conditions mean adaptations can be very specialized and finely tuned. So your ancestors would have gradually transformed into beings perfectly suited for crushing pressure and perpetual darkness. Chapter 3. Streamlined for the depths. Let's talk about your body. On land, your skeleton supports your weight against gravity, and your lungs fill with air to breathe. But under thousands of feet of water, things change drastically. Your body would need to be compact and flexible to avoid being crushed. Hollow spaces like lungs would be a major problem because air compresses under pressure. Instead, your body might evolve to have very little air inside or use fluids that resist compression. Your skin could be thicker and tougher, possibly with a gelatinous texture like some deep-sea creatures. This would protect you from the cold and pressure. Your shape would likely be more streamlined, reducing resistance as you move through the water. Webbed fingers and toes might develop to help you swim efficiently. You could also have bioluminescent patches on your skin, glowing spots that produce light. These lights might help you attract mates, communicate, or confuse predators. Scientists studying deep-sea fish like the anglerfish have found that bioluminescence is a common adaptation, and it would be a natural feature for deep-sea humans too. Chapter 4. Breathing without air. Breathing underwater is a huge challenge. Humans on land rely on lungs to extract oxygen from the air, but underwater, oxygen is dissolved in water and much harder to access. If you evolved in the deep ocean, your respiratory system would be very different. One possibility is that you could develop gill-like structures, like fish, that extract oxygen directly from water. These gills would need to be highly efficient because oxygen levels in deep water are much lower than at the surface. Another fascinating option is that you might have symbiotic relationships with bacteria that produce oxygen, or help process chemicals to generate energy. This partnership is seen in deep-sea tube worms living near hydrothermal vents, where sunlight does not reach, but life thrives on chemicals. Your metabolism would also adapt to the low oxygen environment. You might move slower and use energy more efficiently, conserving oxygen like deep-diving marine mammals do today. This would mean your lifestyle would be calmer and more deliberate, suited to the slow pace of life in the abyss. Chapter 5. Seeing in complete darkness. Since sunlight never reaches the deep ocean, your eyes need to be very different from ours. Instead of relying on bright light, your vision would depend on detecting faint bioluminescent glows or sensing vibrations in the water. Your eyes might be larger and more sensitive, capable of picking up even the smallest flashes of light. Some deep-sea creatures have eyes that can detect a single photon of light, which is the smallest possible amount. Alternatively, you might develop new senses, like echolocation, like dolphins or bats, using sound waves to navigate and find food. Another sense that could become highly developed is your lateral line system sensory organ found in fish that detects water movement and pressure changes. This would help you sense nearby creatures or obstacles without seeing them. In the deep ocean, where visibility is almost zero, such non-visual senses are essential. Would you be able to communicate using light signals or sounds? Many deep-sea animals use flashes of bioluminescence or low-frequency sounds to send messages across the dark waters. Chapter 6. Movement in the deep. How do you think you would move if your home were thousands of feet beneath the ocean's surface? Moving in deep water is very different from walking on land. The pressure around you is immense and the cold slows muscle activity. Your body would need to be perfectly adapted to swimming efficiently without wasting energy. Your muscles might be denser and more resistant to fatigue, allowing you to glide smoothly through the water. You could develop webbing between your fingers and toes, increasing the surface area to push against the water. Some deep-sea creatures use their tails for propulsion, so you might have a tail-like extension that helps you swim faster and with better control. Because of the cold, your metabolism would be slower, so your movements would likely be deliberate and energy-saving. Rapid bursts of speed might be rare, reserved only for escaping predators or catching prey. Your swimming style could resemble that of deep-sea squid or certain fish that move gracefully but efficiently in the abyss. Would you prefer to swim alone or form small groups that move together? The vastness of the ocean and the scarcity of food might encourage solitary movement, but social swimming could help you find mates or protect against predators. Chapter 7. Light and sound signals. Without sunlight, how would you talk to others? In the deep ocean, sound travels farther than light, and many animals rely on low-frequency sounds to communicate. You might develop the ability to produce clicks, whistles, or pulses that carry through the water for miles. Another fascinating possibility is bioluminescent communication. Your skin could light up in patterns or flashes to send messages or warnings. This glowing language might be as complex as spoken words, with different colors and rhythms conveying emotions or instructions. Scientists discovered deep-sea squid that use bioluminescence to communicate intricate messages, almost like a language. If humans had evolved here, your conversations might look like a dazzling light show beneath the waves. Chapter 8. Feeding in a world without sunlight. Feeding yourself in the deep ocean would be a unique challenge. Since sunlight never reaches these depths, plants cannot grow, and photosynthesis is impossible. Instead, life depends on chemical energy from hydrothermal vents or organic matter sinking from the upper layers. You might rely on eating bacteria-rich mats near these vents or scavenging dead animals that drift down from above. Some deep-sea creatures host symbiotic bacteria that convert chemicals into nutrients, so you could have similar partnerships inside your body. Your digestive system would be adapted to extract maximum energy from scarce food sources. You might have slower digestion and metabolism that conserves energy. Hunting would require patience and stealth, waiting for rare opportunities to catch prey or gather nutrients. Chapter 9. Surviving in sparse populations. Life in the deep ocean means living in a vast, dark, and sparsely populated world. Finding others of your kind would be difficult, so your social behavior would have to adapt to these conditions. You might develop strong chemical signals or bioluminescent patterns to attract mates from great distances. Reproduction could involve releasing eggs and sperm into the water, like many fish, or more complex behaviors to ensure offspring survival. Social groups might be small and tight-knit, relying on cooperation for hunting and protection. Alternatively, you could be mostly solitary, coming together only to mate. Scientists studying deep-sea species have found a wide range of reproductive strategies, from hermaphroditism to elaborate mating dances. Chapter 10. Would you survive? Now, what if you tried to leave the deep ocean and live on land? Your body would face enormous challenges. The pressure you are used to would suddenly drop, potentially causing your tissues to expand dangerously. Your lungs, if adapted for extracting oxygen from water, might not function well in the air. Gravity on land is stronger than the buoyant force of water, so your muscles and skeleton would have to support your full weight. After millions of years evolving in near weightlessness, this could be overwhelming. Your skin, adapted to cold and wet conditions, might dry out quickly under the sun. Oxygen levels in the air are much higher than in deep water, which could cause oxidative stress to your cells. And sunlight, which you have never experienced, might damage your skin and eyes. Stephen Jay Gould, a famous evolutionary biologist, once said that evolution is not a ladder but a branching tree. Your evolution in the deep ocean would make you perfectly suited for that world, but poorly equipped for life on land. This shows how tightly organisms are connected to their environments. What would be the most difficult adaptation for deep ocean humans? Would you prefer to live in the vast, mysterious ocean or dry land? Share your thoughts below. Stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe to more mind-bending science stories. Thanks for watching.